Avoid legal snags.
No legal snags here at the Helloha Show.
Welcome to the Helloha Show. I'm Aubrey.
And I'm Amanda.
And we are so glad to have you here back for our 6th episode of the Helloha Show. At first, I thought you were putting up 7. I was like,
we talked about this
just 5 minutes ago.
6.
We are super excited to have you guys here today. We kind of have a mashup of a bunch of different topics and things that we wanted to cover with you. Some great stuff to go through, follow-ups from other episodes that we had. So we're just going to take you right on through.
Yes. Like she said, we normally have that topic. Like, I'm not even exaggerating how many messages that we got about Aldi, our Aldi episode specifically, and I guess not all the locations were participating. The viewers are passionate, although they might be quiet. They're going out there, and they let us know that there were some legal snags going on at some of the locations.
Right. I think my Uncle Bill had an issue. And then I did have someone reach out that said, hey, I tried to use the promo code online. And I said, well, did you watch the full episode? It is at checkout only. So joke's on you. Thankfully, though, we did avoid the legal snags because we let everyone know it was at participating stores only. There was that little asterisk on the bottom of the screen. So glad that you guys are
paying attention.
Paying attention. Make sure, speaking of our promo codes, and this could even transition into like eco, even though we're going to cover that in a minute here. Topic 3. But Buddha teas, make sure you're using that code. It is still valid. This works on their website. They have so many different teas for you to choose from. We'll get into the tea talk whenever we start sipping.
Start sipping. I like that. Ooh.
We might do something with that at some point.
I know. Producer will come up with something.
Yeah, he already has it in the works.
He knows. Just he
already
feels it.
Knows what we're talking about right now.
And I know I said this in like the last 3 episodes, working around the freaking clock.
Legitimately.
So tonight
he sent us an edit at it was like 4:30 a.m. the other day, like something.
It's like I was drooling on my pillow at that hour, and you're sweating bullets trying to make this bed.
And then also, wait, were you really up all night thinking about that Warhead ice cream?
It was perfect. It was exactly what I was talking about.
It's funny, knowing him, he probably did get anxiety about that.
Well, he's just so dedicated to the work, so we appreciate it.
That's what we love. People that are here to do the job, get the job done well, integrity.
Integrity, yes. I like that.
Integrity, doing the right thing when no one else is watching. Put that quote up. I remember in a safety class, I had to like do the definition of integrity in like one of the I'm like, for whatever reason that always.
I think our like Cal U's like saying or motto or whatever it was, we had a fountain that said like integrity, responsibility, and one other thing. And I, of course, at the time would remember it. And anytime I'd pass the fountain, I'd be like, integrity, responsibility. So that's what, as soon as you said that, reminded me.
What's the third word?
I don't know. We're going to have to Google. Oh, it'll be in the notes. Don't worry.
Okay.
Back to what I was trying to say. We have to do this so far in advance for editing. So believe it or not, we are filming this the weekend right after Earth Day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this probably won't come out until like end of May, maybe even June. Too much calendar math, like we said in the other one. We're not doing that, but
Yeah.
we're gonna do a quick follow-up on our Earth Day.
So I know that you guys have seen my short that I posted back whenever I was at the shack still, opening boxes of stuff that I ordered way too early because we thought we were going to be moving way sooner than we actually did. Whole other episode at some point. Can't wait. That's like one of the show slogans. Whole other episode. That's another episode. But so I know that you guys saw the in window like bird feed that I got. I can't remember what it was actually called. You saw me open it, and then I said I would do a short of me putting it in the window. That didn't happen.
There's still time. Maybe we can get one out before this even airs.
Oh, right. So I did set it up like our first week here. So there's a ton of birds around, just like everyone's house. But I haven't had any visitors yet, which I mean, at first I had it in a window that was like right off of like the deck. So it's like the birds weren't really even like flying. They don't like come that like onto the deck really. So we moved it to like in the living room area, a different window, where I've seen birds hang out more often, like in the mornings and stuff. Yeah. So I got a thing of like suet and some other food that I'm gonna put in there, like closer to like the edge of the box, because I feel like the wind like blew it all in a little bit more. So I'm hopeful that I get a visitor soon. Yeah. I better, and as soon as I do, going to film it.
You're gonna need to have like a
around
surveillance. Yes.
Like a little camera on it. Oh my gosh. Right. Whenever we are like, maybe I can get them to sponsor us. They can get us a webcam, like the bird feeder people. And then we just have a live stream of it on our website up 24 hours a day. So you can see live and in person what's happening.
I would love that, because out of this window, I'm actually looking at the spare phone right now. I'm probably going to regret this because I'm going to have to get all resituated. But we have an old iPhone that we used to record, like, sometimes our baby bunnies that I sent you clips of, because they are little nuggets right now. But haven't seen them, but I think it's because of the snow spooked them. It was too cold for them. I don't know. I'm not here for it. Anyway, I can't wait to see, like, you, like, reading a book or something.
And then they're just, like, right there.
Yes. Yeah.
Chilling with me. Yeah. I can't wait. Speaking of birds, though, I'll have to send you pictures. We finally put a hole in the wall and like hung up a nice like bird print that I got that's like backyard birds of Michigan. And clearly the upstairs is like becoming like bird themed, which is fun and I love. We'll get into that whenever we do the house episode. So I don't even give you the full tour. But sitting here is where I've been working every day, and I sent you the video.
Yeah.
Guys, never have seen woodpeckers this big in my life. I'm telling you. I saw another big one last night, but I'm like, that isn't the big one. Like, no
They're scary.
Like, enormous. So, and like scary. I feel like it could like pick me up and like tear me apart.
I thought they were all like tiny because that's what we would see. And a couple weeks ago when it was like 80 or something, I was working on the deck and I heard what I thought sounded like a chimpanzee. Like its call is very like, wah! Like
yes,
crazy. And I was like, what the F is that? And I look over and it's like, you can tell that birds come from dinosaurs because this looked like prehistoric. It's scary.
It's like petrifying. It's like, oh, I don't think I want to go outside right now.
Yeah, because I feel like it could pick us up.
It really could. So we'll post some videos and photos of our
Yeah.
woodpeckers that we have around both of our houses coming up for you. We'll probably just have we'll end up having like a full on nature feed, I think. Like because between the two of us, like we constantly have like
Wildlife.
just tons of wildlife. We turkeys.
Scary.
We have tons of geese now, which
Ooh, so is that like your version of my turkey, you think? Like geese? Or do you have turkey
no,
too?
I have turkey. I
I
remember I sent you a picture of that one.
Oh.
He flew in from he made that trip fast.
Yeah,
You said
yeah. I was like, hey, you
GW.
better go check on Aubrey's new house.
Yeah.
It was like 5 minutes.
Right. But the geese are scary
Scary.
too.
They're mean,
They don't
right?
like people. They're mean.
Mm-mm.
So they're like fun to watch, but it's like don't want to get too close. But we have really cute little ducks too, like really pretty ones. Haven't gotten any pics yet, but
Gonna need to post those.
Some of these like come in like groups of two, and the other one the other night I was just sitting in the window watching it, and like the two of them are just like back and forth, like just hang. I'm like
Adorbs.
So I didn't really do anything else exciting for Earth Day.
I actually planted those Arizona wildflower seeds that I got sent right by a tree where my deer love to chill. So I hope if they come up that I can at least like see them before if they eat them.
Before the deer.
Yeah. But I on top of that, this is a true time surprise for Aubrey. You guys hopefully watched my unboxing of the A&A Extraordinaire, and she gave me a spider plant. And because I was trying to find something to put into it, I honestly don't know if this is correct, so you'll have to tell me like if this is how I should even have it. But you remember old roomie Tara? She actually gave me a 2 set of these, and I feel like, you know, before we both did yoga before, like in our apartment too. So it's like, oh, this is like such a cute memory. And now on top of it, there is Buddha for Buddha tea.
Oh my god!
Like, what? Are you joking me?
Must keep it in that cup.
I actually had 2, but one cracked up. I actually shed a tear when it cracked because I was like, come on. Like, so here's my little spider.
Yeah,
so
look at those roots.
I know. I made sure I was very.
I almost thought whenever I sent it to you, like there's like you could almost maybe even pull them, like make 2 plants out of it. Did you see how there's like 2?
Yeah.
I was like, it's been in the same test tube for so long that I think it. Fun fact, that's actually from Boss Greenhouse also. Was laughing when you called it Bose.
Oh, sorry, Boss.
Like
Boss.
So pronounced BOSS.
Legal snags.
It's like their last name or whatever. But whenever I would go on lunch break, sometimes I would like always like buy a crap ton of plants, and then they had some spider plants. I would just sometimes like pick off a couple babies and be like, all right, I'm all set.
I'm done.
Yeah. So those all are from that greenhouse.
Aww. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then when I set down the cup right here, I realized you probably remember this, or at least I would imagine you saw it in my room, at least at Dad's, and I know I took this to college with me.
Yes.
Buddha cat, which this is a separate necklace that I put on him, but this is from Miss Taz, her classroom. So our senior year of high school, our English teacher, and I guess it was like a jewelry box or something that it said on top. I was like, I don't effing want that. I want the Buddha cat. I don't even like cats, but it was so awesome. So this is always staring at me during our filming, but when I put down the Buddha cup, I was like, so many signs that eventually lead us to here.
Okay. Oh, also, Buddha. So, guys, I sent this to Amanda was it a week ago or within the last 2 weeks? Remember what I found that I also have right in front of me? So Amanda gave this to me when she was cleaning out her room.
Oh,
Like, was this before we even went to college? I don't, it could have been
I
like,
feel like it had to have been like summer before.
so for whatever reason, which I still don't know why you were getting rid of this, it does have a little like crack on it, which maybe is what, but like, so, and there's also Buddha. Correct me if I'm wrong,
Could be.
right? I mean, what,
Probably.
I mean, I think like it looks like Buddha
Something.
teas.
Mhm.
So Amanda gave this to me, and I've had it. There's been so many opportunities where I'm like trying to downsize, downgrade, like falling out, everything. I'm like, no.
Crack it against the wall.
I kept this. For whatever reason, I kept this. It's made like what, at least like probably 3 moves now. That point, but kept this, and then was like looking through a box of just random stuff that I've been that I save and keep with me, but like I'm like, when are you really ever gonna use that again? But now I'm like, oh my gosh, and tea time and it's just all coming together. So I put it right up here on the top of my desk so I can look at it and be inspired all day, every day while I'm working.
Yeah. So speaking of tea time, I think that was a perfect segue to go into it.
Agreed.
And I have a new mug.
Oh.
But it's not mine, and it's because the other ones are dirty, but it's also good timing. The Mortal Kombat movie came out this weekend, which is a huge deal in this household. And I went to see it with Dan last night, and let me tell you, it's pretty good. And I'm not into that. Like,
really?
I'm not a gamer, so like I never played the game.
I'm surprised that you said it was really good.
Yeah, so this is off track real fast, but he loves Marvel, and Wonder Woman is DC Comics. I learned real fast, we do not like DC in this house. So I was like, okay, lesson learned. But I remember when I saw Wonder Woman after, did you ever see that movie?
Mm-mm.
When I left the theater, I was like, I need to kickbox. Like, seeing how good these like women fighting were, it was like inspiring. Well, there's one woman in this. Actually, that's a lie. A couple women in this, but I was like, I need to do mixed martial arts or like self-defense because it's like freaking sweet to watch it. So this is the mug of choice. If there's any fans out there, hopefully you appreciate it. And there was no damage control, so I know it's a Buddha tea. But on the back, I have a quote.
Ooh.
My quote today is, "Today I'm grateful for ... So today I'm grateful for Helloha Show.
Honestly.
For real. Do you have a quote?
I do. It says, everything is as important as everything else."
I feel like you got to sit on that to like see how it applies to you.
Right.
It could be deep.
I know.
But shall we?
Mm-hmm.
I know we cheers.
I know you haven't had a sip yet, but I've been drinking a little bit.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, we got it. Cheers.
Cheers. Y'all go forward.
I don't know. Maybe we go forward this time.
Yeah, I like the forward. That was good.
Cheers.
All right. Senses. So smelling, I'm a little nervous. So again, this was in the Helloha box that I did on the unpacking or unboxing, and that was shut. So like I have no idea what she all ordered using our promo code Helloha20.
Helloha in all caps 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I stuffed a little note in there for Dan with a schedule of the next couple weeks.
Yeah. So I have no idea what this is. I'm a little scared based off of the smell. So here we go. All right, it's not bad, and dare I say it's good, but why would I say that? We love Buddha, but based off of the smell, I feel like it would taste disgusting and really earthy. But I mean, I have no idea what this is. I don't know if it's green tea, if it's black tea. I believe he put a little bit of honey in it.
I put a little honey in mine too.
It's kind of leaving like a warm aftertaste. Like, not really like nutty, but.
Oh, I could see it.
So I have no guesses.
Okay.
Like, this doesn't taste like anything, a tea I've ever had. I'm feeling like something in the back of my throat, like
doesn't it? It tastes like a healthy tea.
It does, yeah.
Good for yourself. So I'll tell you, it's dandelion root tea, which is like completely random. You guys are gonna be like, why'd you pick that? I picked it because like growing up, my dad will get into like these fads and stuff. Like, and he'll try it for like 5 days, if that. Sorry, Dad, but we all know it's true. But for whatever reason, I remember like several years ago, he's like, we need to get this dandelion root tea, and like he had to go to like health food stores, like GNC were like the only places that were selling it at the time. And he's like, no, this is so good, so good. This tastes actually a lot better than the ones that I've had that he like got growing up. I'm like, wow, this is really, I think this is great. The other ones that like the dandelion root that I remember was just like, what am I drinking? So I was just curious because I hadn't had it in a few years.
Not to put you on the spot, but like, I don't know any of the benefits of dandelion root. So like, why did Dad want it? Or do you remember?
I can't, but it was some like amazing health benefit.
I believe it. I feel like I've never had like one of those fancy pants salads that has like dandelions or like flowers on it. So I wonder if I would have, that this sort of like triggered my taste buds. But now that you say it, it's not like I'm like, oh yeah, duh, it's dandelion, because I never had it before.
Right. I looked it up really quick. Okay. Reduces water weight. Promote liver health.
That's good.
Act as a natural coffee substitute, which I don't think that's right because I don't think there's caffeine in this. Or just like maybe like instead of
drinking it, yeah.
Digestive ailments. I feel like every single thing in the world says it could have future anti-cancer applications.
Yeah, that's
and it says that they help prevent urinary tract infections.
Oh.
Whatever, I'll have to ask him. Maybe it was something about the liver. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I'll have to ask him.
It's good.
It is good. Like, all right.
Job well done to
Hats off to Buddha Teas.
Hats off. Hats off.
And I've noticed, because I've had a couple cups, not of the dandelion, but just like the other of their teas that I've tried. It's like the tea bag, not the bag, but like the little where the quote is part. If I get it wet, because sometimes I just like throw the rest of my like tea bag into a plant to like kind of like give it a natural little something extra. The like quote part like completely disintegrates. Like you're not like this is actually like eco-friendly. This is the stuff.
This is it. Versus like the ones where it takes weeks.
Tea bags. I don't know if that, but yeah, I can tell that the tea bags are like a little bit not like flimsy even, but there's been times that I've like opened one of the bags and I'm like, uh-oh, I got a hole in it, and then the stuff's like floating in it, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, I've definitely opened like whatever brand too quickly and ripped it. So I feel like because I love the packaging that Buddha does, I just feel like it's so nice and crisp that I'm always like slowly, just in case, because been there, done that, don't want to be there again. But I can't wait to try all the others because you bought tons of boxes. So it's like first one is terrific.
I know, I can't wait to keep trying them because there's some like in the lineup that I know that are like for next week, the week after, the week after. So I haven't even tried those ones yet.
Ooh.
I've mostly, because I got a couple with caffeine that I didn't send you. So those are the ones that I've been going hard on the past.
And are they performing? Good.
They're really good. One's a white tea, and which I thought white tea was caffeine free. I didn't realize.
I thought that too.
And I also thought green tea was, but it's.
Yeah.
So I was surprised, but it makes sense because you see a lot of those drinks. They'll be like, "Oh, like drink green tea for a little bit of
relax."
I was like, "Oh, okay, duh. That's why it says that." But yeah, so far so great. And also, speaking of tea, we do have, which I almost forgot about. Shame on me within the move. We still need to order. We got how many? 50 free 1 boxes of the traditional medicinals also. So we need to get some of those. If you guys reach out to us, send us a note, let us know that you are interested in one of these free coupons to get your own free box of tea, or also we have a couple $1 off coupons. Let us know. Let us know what flavor.
Let's repeat that real fast. Free
box of tea.
Yeah. So you don't have to do anything. Just message us.
Message us, and we will mail you.
Or if you're like in a rut, you open your tea drawer and it's not stacked and ready to deliver like Aubrey's that we saw before, we can, make sure there's no legal snags with sending over the code or information in the message as well.
Oh, right.
Able to do it online. But we love sending mail. We like opening.
We love. We're old people like that. It's like I go out every day. I'm like, what I get. Oh, did you get your thing set up yet? That you get the emails?
Yes. I love it. So I had no idea that you could get a preview of your incoming mail, like both like paper mail and packages. I look forward to it every day. And I hate when it's like, you have no incoming packages. Even though I didn't order anything, I'm like, are you joking?
One thing I will mention with that is
it's not always accurate with packages.
The packages are never accurate. Well, so it's never in the, how many years have I been doing this now? Like almost a little over 2 I've been using this. Is and anytime I get a package, they don't tell me. So I've gotten a couple, I'm like, oh, but so I know at least just to go out and check the mail regardless every day.
Yeah, just in case.
But I never find out whenever I'm getting a package, which is kind of, but then it's like a super surprise whenever you go out and I'm like, oh my gosh, sister sent me something. Like, what is this? So good. Just a little tidbit on that, so you know in the future. So yeah, if you guys want, definitely, if you're not doing that already, just another thing that you'll learn watching the Helloha Show.
Yep, we'll put that info in.
We'll put the link to get signed up for that below.
Yeah. I'm just so excited. I'm looking ahead at our notes. I'm sure you guys keep seeing my eyes darting down too. You all know this by now, our little notes for the show.
I know we're almost gonna need new notebooks. I'm like,
so I'm literally dying to hear what you think of the stashers. So you ordered them, you did a short, you've been using them. Like, what do you think? Are you like, Amanda, this is overhyped?
Love them. So I've been using them since we moved in, like religiously. Whenever, because I constantly have like fruit and veggies in the that's what I've mostly been using them for. Here are some of the clean ones that I have now. Love the sandwich size ones. Yeah, I'll like cut up 2 to 3 peppers fit perfectly in here in strips. I just pull it out and like chow it down with some hummus, back in, and then like I love it. I haven't used this one yet because it's so small. Still trying to figure out, guys, tell me what you think I should utilize this for and like put in this little one because it's small. I tried to cut up. I thought it was like half of a cucumber that I cut up, a little baby one. Tried to sneak them in the other day, and I was like, no, I don't want to mush up the cucumber. No. So not sure exactly what is going to go in this one, but
this thought, do you know one of my favorite bagged salads from Costco, but like you can make it on your own? It's that like kale salad that has like an Asian poppy seed dressing, but it also has pumpkin seeds and cranberries. And I feel like if you would make that on your own, that might be like a good size to have like those.
Oh, like the nuts and dried fruit?
Yeah. I think like the Stasher website sometimes shows like AirPods in there, but they're already in a case.
Right.
I'm like, you're stretching it a little bit. Love you, Stasher, but we need real, better ideas.
Okay. Yeah. So to be continued, you guys. Hopefully, all through the summer, I'm like showing you what is in this little guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, sandwich bags I would definitely recommend, and then the snack size too. I have, which love those because I'll like put half an onion in there whenever I like cut it. I'm like, ooh, tonight I had half an onion and some leftover lettuce from our sandwiches last night. Popped it in, pulled it out. I'm like, here you go, Evan, put this on your sandwich. Evan's on board with it. He's loving it. He's like, is that in the stasher in the fridge? I'm like, yes, it is.
And I feel like they keep everything like legit crisp. Like I know they point that out, like it helps keep your produce and vegetables like stay fresher longer, but I've definitely noticed that too. Like I'm going to use a cucumber as an example. Like I won't necessarily chop it the entire thing up. So I'll leave like the actual cucumber in there. And you know how they'll get like slimy if you forget about it for one additional day? Not with Stashers. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Awesome. I sometimes I will like cut them up the full way if I'm like, all right, I'm gonna eat this tomorrow, and still it'll like get overnight. Not with Stasher, but I have even noticed I'm like, oh, and then sometimes I have cut them up in the strips, forgot for an extra, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is still good.
Holding up.
Love it. And I can't wait to do something with like boiling water and like making oatmeal on the go or something. I'm like, how is this possible?
I have still never done.
You could throw this in the oven. It's like, what?
How?
I'm like, I don't know. Hopefully we can get someone that works behind the scenes making these on the show down the line. That is in the works. We have a request in. So just stick with us. The other thing that Amanda mentioned was the brand Drops on the episode. So I went ahead and ordered Drops, the dishwashing pods, and then also the laundry pods. I've been loving it. And I think you also said like you didn't really have a dishwasher before, so you didn't really have anything to compare it to. Same. I think the stuff comes out spotless. I'm like, ooh. Like,
and you see the commercials where it's like you would see like use Cascade. I know I said that last episode. That's the only one I can think of. But like we never have like spots on our glasses or anything like that. So I imagine
it's nice. It got the little pot, and I love the packaging that it comes in. Like, this is it. This is what came to me in the mail. Open that up, and then you got on each side, and then this is it. Like, very amazing. Love it.
I will say.
Go ahead.
I made a rookie mistake. I was so excited when they had their Earth Day promo come out, and we needed more laundry pods. So I was going through and I was like, okay, the sensitive skin, but I guess I kept scrolling just to like see if anything newer came out. And I got the Oxy Boost ones. And for whatever reason, I either thought I clicked something else or thought that was fine, but that needs to be used in addition to a laundry pod. So I had to make another emergency order. So those are on the way to have the actual laundry pods. So I was like, oh, Amanda, she got too excited with the coupon code that this is what happens. Slow your roll.
It's okay. That was me the other day whenever you sent me that Earth Day code for those body bars, and I'm like, and I thought it was for this shampoo.
Amika.
I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, why won't this work? But I still did get like a 15%, like, or 20% off, I think, for like being a new customer. So like, it was only like $50. I got like shampoo, conditioner, and then even though I do nothing with my hair, just let it air dry, but it's super like straight and gross. I got some things that they recommended of like different like little spritzes and stuff that you can like. I was like, all right, so once I get that, we will show you.
I'm excited to see how that works.
Yeah, this is not going to be any of that Monet. This is strictly going to.
There are no Vegas trips that come out of the whole.
Right.
Sorry. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, we gotta quickly move on from that.
Change gears there.
So I forgot in my economics one because I use my phone to film. So I remembered to take off my phone case. And I was saying this brand wrong for about a year of me having this. And it's Pila, I think is how they say it. And I was calling it Pella. So I have P-E-L-A.
Okay. We have Pellas here.
Yes. So I have a friend's small business macaron sticker on the back that I need a new one. But
macaron.
Macaron. So these are macarons, and then macaroons are the coconut cookies. So what? These like Gabby at Jules, remember in Squirrel Hill?
I thought those were macaroons.
No, that's a macaron. The French one. Don't F around with that.
Excuse me. All right, change. Another life change here.
The more you know. So call him Max for short. Anyway, I can toss this in her link below if you're local to Pittsburgh. Yeah. But anyway, love this phone case. I saw this, I probably on Instagram, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago when I got this. Literally, it's just dirty, but I can wipe it down with like an alcohol swab and it's brand new. I love it. It's super soft. It's you can compost this. So unlike every other plastic phone case that ends up in a landfill and then never breaks down, or if it does, microplastics, go in the fish, then we eat it, we all die. Anyway, so I got Dan a black one too, and we're loving it. Side note, I hate pop sockets.
Okay, I don't like them. I've never tried one.
I'm sorry to the viewers. I don't know if I'm just like grumpy and hate everything, but like use just like the straws. You have a mouth. You don't need a straw. You have not only one hand, but 2 hands. You don't need this kickstand.
Right.
And this is plastic, so it's ruining it. Anyway.
What's the phone case made out of?
Hold on, it might say, because on the inside it has these 2 little things, made in Canada, and then it says made with plants. Ooh. So I can't really remember. I wasn't prepared enough, but you can see like specks. It almost looks like sawdust, where I don't know if that's actually what it is, but they have tons of different colors, and then they have like some that have like a little bit of engraving. There's like cute yoke ones.
Because I'm glad you brought this up. I am in need of a new phone case. Been in need for like months. Like even like the side thing is like coming off here. It's just like one of those like cheapo ones. It's
and you don't gotta worry. I honestly do not remember off the top of my head. I mean, if it was really expensive, I would not have bought it. I think it's like reasonable. And like I said, I've had this forever, so like it's like a silicone. I don't know. I'm sorry, I should have done this. So like none of this is ripping, and you can see I'm playing with it a bunch.
So there might even be a promo code for this brand by the time this
episode
is aired. So
I love it.
because we're going to try and get one tonight after the show so that I can order and get 20%.
Yeah, immediately.
Because I'm definitely going to order one. Like, I've been one. I'm like,
they're so cute.
Put off, and you're like, all right.
Another one I have on my setups here I forgot to talk about. I have this Nature Fresh, what's it? I guess it's just like an air purifier. So this is bamboo charcoal that's inside of this bag. And I will read it to you. Naturally helps remove odors, bacterias, harmful pollutants, allergens, fragrance-free, non-toxic, eco-friendly. It helps prevent mold, mildew, and excess moisture. And this thing, like, is crazy. It just blew my mind. It says to rejuvenate. First of all, you can rejuvenate this? What? To rejuvenate, place in direct sunlight once a month for at least 1 hour. So I got a pack of like 5 of these right before we closed on the house, because I was just like, they had a dog here before. I'm super sensitive to like dander on top of everything else, as you guys all know. So these things, I have one in the bathroom, one in our basement, one in the living room. Like, I just wasn't sure where to put them.
Right.
And I definitely will throw these out on the deck in the direct sunlight to keep them going. And I don't know how I could actually tell if it's working, but the bathroom, like, no issues there, like nothing gross that we would have to clean up. So I'm gonna say these are working. I think this was like another like side ad where I probably said eco-friendly around my phone, and it was like, you need these, you need these, you need
What's
these.
the brand of it?
I think it says www.naturefreshairpurifier.com, but it's Nature Fresh brand up here. And I guess you could like hang it from something, like maybe in a closet.
Right. I kind of want to get some. I want to get one for our bathroom, because one thing that our bathrooms don't have like a fan.
That's like Dad's.
Like, excuse
this is
me.
Weird.
Right. Like, I open the window but I'm like, and I burn candles in there a lot, just in the back, and it's like,
yeah, you don't have the air.
Give me a vent. And we all know how much I use the bathroom. Like the IBS episode that we have come down the pipeline.
Yeah, that was a fan submission that I'm actually pretty excited, because that's like a topic that I feel like a lot of people are like, I don't want to talk about that.
A lot of people have the issue.
Lot.
You want to call it, but yeah, it's like, what can you do?
Yeah, I actually have a cookbook that we can talk about when we do that episode.
I can't wait.
2 more things, guys, before the main point. I have that Say Hello.
Oh my gosh, here's mine that I still haven't used yet.
I didn't use it yet either, but I have mascara on for the big recording, guys. So maybe I'll use it tonight. Because I have this by me at all times. So maybe I'll do that right after we're done tonight.
That sounds good. Maybe do a little short of it.
With my last second spur of the moment painting of the wall behind me in the back.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm quick, 30-second to a minute. If you watch this and you're a creeper, you can creep on my Pinterest, because I don't know if they're public or not. Anyway, I have like a home board, and I have probably way too many things in the bathroom since I did the vanity, which I never did an update. So maybe the producer can put something in there. So that little can that I had, I didn't use that much. So I wanted to do, is it called like herringbone? Is that how you say it? But it's like the popular design.
I think
so. I saw like freehand or like a stencil that you can do that. And I was like, ooh, that'd be sweet to use with the extra. Or just like also freehand, just like a dash, a space, a dash. All right, so I tried that yesterday. Not as artistic as I thought I would.
So you tried?
Oh, I tried, and I was like, F this. So I just went for it. I had big ideas, but I didn't have an actual stencil. I actually tried to cut out like a piece of cardboard to like use a stencil. So
Believe that's the
working on that.
professional.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a accent wall, which I'm not really into, but I think it'll be cute in there.
Yeah. And you can always paint over it.
Right. And my final one that I actually showed in a story before. So this is a doTERRA diffuser, believe it or not. My friend got it for me for either my birthday or Christmas because they're very close together. So this is like a clay. It's kind of like porcelain, but you drop the essential oils directly on this and it sucks it in, and then we'll like, like a plug-in or battery diffuser where it's constantly spurting out. I don't know how it does it. I guess because it's porous and it will slowly release. So I got this around Christmas, and she gave me, I should have brought it in, like this super tiny bottle that was like a holiday special oil, and I can still smell it on here. I would be working on the couch or something, and out of nowhere I'd be like it smells like someone just like sprayed something. So this thing freaking works. It's awesome. I think it's really cute. Like
it is
nice
cute.
little decoration. Yeah.
I have back whenever I was living in Pittsburgh and still working at I can't remember if this is like one of the things where you're like, oh, Aubrey, really? So I was talking to someone that I worked with, and she was super into doTERRA. She was like a seller. I was over at her house hanging out with her one day, and like $200 later, Aubrey buys the whole entire like doTERRA starter box that I still have a bunch of the essential oils, which I'm about to have to take a bathroom break and we're gonna have to cut, like producer. But I have that I can show you. I can bring in some of the oils because I've just been dripping them in the bathtub.
I was gonna say, I hope you're doing
want a diffuser.
Do you have the wild orange one by chance?
I think I might.
So this girl I followed on Instagram that I think I unfollowed her. I love unfollowing people. I'm a freak. But she has super white teeth, and I guess she would always get like compliments on it. And she said that she would use 2 drops on the wild orange on her toothbrush with toothpaste, and it worked as a natural whitening agent. Really? Now, I'm sure it works, but you have to think it's very acidic. So if you have sensitive teeth and your enamel's already pretty low, I advise against this. Like, I don't want to be responsible for a $5,000 dental bill for someone, but I used it before on my toothbrush, and the nice thing about it is it kind of feels like a mouthwash afterwards because it's very like not burny but tingly in a good like refreshing way. I can't speak to it if it actually whitened my teeth because I don't do it like that often, but that's something you can do with one of those.
I think that I know that I've had that wild orange, so I'm gonna see if I have it.
I think the other one that I have is grapefruit that I would put in my water at work a lot. Ooh. But you have to use it with a glass bottle, people, not plastic, because it will pull the BPA out. So.
And what oil are you using for the diffuser right now? Is that what
you're using? I have a lavender one on it right now, but I actually like to use that one, which is very bad against my dermatologist recommendations. But sometimes, like if I get a blemish or something, that will like, if like cystic acne especially, like it will really take the swelling down. But yikes right now. Sorry guys, ignore that.
I really can't see it.
But that's what I have on it now. But I'm still picking up like the holiday scent from it. I don't mind that. I think it smells good. Still like clean, but.
Wait, does it charge or it just always is like working?
This is just wood and then this is clay. So it's like how it's porous and it will just like suck it out, and then like it won't. I haven't put anything on it for a long time, so it's not like actively. It probably released, but like if you go against it, it's like, oh, kind of like a candle almost, like when it's not burning and you sniff it. Mm-hmm.
All right, that's also going to be purchased by me soon.
Well,
Use all those. Amanda's like burning a hole in my bank account. Like, got all the stasher, got all the drops, I can't even know. Like, for Earth Day, because I got Facebook advertisement, no, Instagram ads. I'm like, I bought like a cute sweatshirt on Levi. I'm like, what is which I can't wait to hopefully maybe be wearing that next week in an episode. I don't know. But I got like some cute stuff coming from Levi's. It was like inspired by Earth Day, but that wasn't Amanda. I don't. But we're talking about clothes. I feel like there's some stuff. Oh, the shampoo.
I bought a shampoo and conditioner bar after I used the Earth Day code.
From the Earthling site, not
Amika.
Why is this Earth Day 20 code not working?
Wrong website. And we're like, wait, hold the Helloha phone. There were some miscommunications.
There was.
Do you need your restroom break?
Yeah.
Oh, one last thing. We'll pause. My unpaper towel review, we love them. No complaints from Dan. They're super easy to use. You just roll them up yourself.
How many do you go through in a day? Just like one?
Not even. Like, I don't know. I'm just like.
Do you like wipe down your countertops every day?
If we're like we've been bad recently, like with working from home and like lunches, that like we're not making anything that really causes a mess. But I do have like a granite cleaner that I do use. I actually use a different because I had it before, a different rag that I'll use for that, mostly because I don't know how it would work on this yet. But I probably should use these so they're not just sitting here going unused. But I love them. Dan seems to like them.
Yeah, I like the pattern too. And it matches.
Very cute. And then if you guys remember my free little two cup coasters.
I'm back, and also look what I found in the bathroom. So I got some of my doTERRAs. I had a little bag still of just like random essential oils that I don't use, and I was really excited because look what I found. But it looks like it's empty.
What? That's it.
I know, but there's like nothing in it.
Well, just try putting it upside down, like on your toothpaste, and see if anything comes.
So I got a couple. I remember frankincense.
That's an
told to put a dab underneath your tongue every day is good for you. Deep blue, which I have a little bit of this left, thank goodness, because that was one of the better smelling ones. Like if you're like sore or something. Breathe. I've been putting this in the tub. But like, was your little one smaller than this?
That's the size of the small one. Those are the expensive ones.
And then what else do I have? But the peppermint, I've used it, like the oil, like on my neck and like on my forehead. It said like it's supposed to like help if you have like a headache or a migraine. But like I would be like once in a while, and they say like just to kind of like wake you up before whenever I would work, I would put it like right where they say to like on the like kind of like right on your hairline. Rub that in like crazy as hard as you can. Luana White. Shout out Luana. Are you still selling doTERRA? Need to know. Are you still working at the Crown Plaza? Need to know. Need to know. These are things that I'll try and come find you somehow, some way. Maybe we'll get you on the show.
Yeah.
But I loved the peppermint. So, I might have to try some of those you just suggested.
Yes.
All right. But sorry we got off track there, everyone.
We can get right back on it. We're at number 4, which is our follow-up from our previous episode on grieving. Aubrey, if you wanted to go.
Yeah. So I just have like a thing or two that I wanted to mention after rewatching the episode for the first time, not even edited yet. A producer hasn't seen it yet. It was really therapeutic for me. Wasn't even gonna say this, but watching it, that one was a little bit over 2 hours. I feel like it was almost 2 hours, which who knows if we're even gonna. I think.
Wow.
I thought it was, but we what was I gonna say? Oh, so I watched it the first half one day in the bathtub. And
Oh,
it was like really like, and I still like watched it on like lights off, candles on, essential oils. Like it was just like so nice to like listen,
hear
like
you
go
talk
through. And
about.
then the next day I was like, I needed to get through part 2, and I'm like, all right, I'm getting in the tub later. So, and I was like, all right, I gotta like wait for the like till the end of the. So I'm like a prune. I'm like, all right, watching the rest of the episode. But it was just like really nice, like listening to that and like going
Yeah.
through some of the things. But then from watching and listening, I realized there were a couple things that I didn't say that I probably wanted to put out there instead of you guys being like, oh, so what happened? You were talking about how like you were at the whenever you went to the doctor for the first time and you just like when they asked you like, and then I did this essentially the same thing that you said, like it all comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say that I took the route of like saying, yeah, I'm open to trying medication. Um, which I will say I put that off for months and months and months, like maybe probably even like a couple years. Like I could like I've been to like like I've had and I well no, so I've had the prescription at this doctor
Mm-hmm.
since I don't know since like almost after maybe I don't know. It's hard to tell how long I've had it for. Like just
Yeah.
time goes, but prescription was given to me for like a long time and I never like actually got it filled because I was so worried about the whole like weight gain that they say like comes with taking antidepressants, which I'm like super like I don't know, just like conscious about that. Always have been like super into my health and everything and like perfect image, whatever. So it like took a lot for me, like conversations with being like, all right, well this could happen, but like my whole like I could have like a whole shift in like I don't know if you would say like personality, but just like mindset, everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
I would say there's days that I wake up if I ever even like forget to take it, and I'm like, I just wake up in a terrible mood. I'm like, something is like on my back or something, and I'm just like in like everything is going to irritate me on this day. I'm like, what? I'm like completely on edge. Someone could say like something so irrelevant to me, and I'm like completely set off and just
Mm-hmm.
like it's just like some kind of like fog or like cloud that you're in, and it's just like, can I not feel this way, please? It's like, can I just feel like a normal freaking human being?
Mm-hmm.
And like just um, it's changed my like just like mood a lot, I would say. Also, so I finally started taking it after like I'm like, all right, Evan's like, try it. I don't care. Like
Yeah.
he's like, I would rather, which I did end up putting on a couple pounds, but like it fluctuates so much and whatever. I
No
would
one would
rather
know.
like weigh a little bit more and like be able to function and like so, like just be like feel okay than just being like a little skinny brat and like having like all of these like mental like just
Yeah.
and it's just almost like your body like feels a certain way. It's like whenever you're not take, I'm like something is off and I just don't feel right. Like
Yeah.
everyone leave me alone. I don't want to talk to anyone today. Um, so I will say, and you also have to try it because I know some people will be like, oh, I tried that for like a week and it didn't. No, you have to stick with it. And yes, you probably, I don't know if you had this problem, but like the first day that I took it, I made the mistake. Like it was like a work day. I took it in the morning before I went to work. I had to leave like after an hour. I was so sick. Like I felt,
Oh,
huh?
how so?
Oh, my head was like spinning. Like I had such a bad headache, which I get migraines. It wasn't even like a migraine. I like felt
Mm-hmm.
like I was gonna throw up like constantly, like so nauseous. And then it was just like, do you ever? Like whenever everything is just like, I need to lay down, like I can't even like sit up straight. Like my body needs to just chill, and like every part of me needs to be like laying on something like completely flat.
Yeah.
I just remember, I'm like, all right, I even told my boss, I was like, he's like, do you think it's, it was pre-COVID, so it wasn't that, but I don't even remember what he
Like
said.
something you think.
I was like, no, in all honesty, I was like, I just started taking like a new medicine today, so I know that's definitely it. Like I just need to go like right now. So I did. I like went home and then like laid down like all day, and then I felt like a little bit like not that. So the first day was the worst day, but I know people like had it for like almost even a couple weeks, which I would say it gets better like each day. The first day was awful. If you feel that way for like a month, like not ideal, but in the long run, it's totally worth it. Do it. Evan's like, yeah, you should have been taking this for a long time. And he's like, I would rather have you like gain a few pounds, who cares, and be happy and like not a freaking maniac like you are. That he just like puts up with. He's like, I would so much rather have that than.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm like,
think that's huge too, like support, not only
right.
like, I don't know, I'm sure some people like not in our lives because I won't allow that. Someone to be like, here taking medication for a mental problem. It's like you should probably be on one too if you're thinking like that.
Right.
But I think like having some type of support, even if like you're unsure of something, like it makes a huge difference. And I had strange side effects. So I never get a headache, and I noticed a very, very tiny, tiny headache. Like I was just like, something feels weird. And it was a headache on one side in the same spot for I want to say like a week or two. And I took it before bed instead of in the morning. And I had night sweats for like 3 weeks, which is a long time because like I'm always cold. I don't really sweat that much. Like if I'm like tanning or something, I feel like I wasn't even sweating as much as what I would wake up in. And it's just like you're peeling your clothes off of you. I'm like, what the F is going on? And I told my doctor about it, and it's like, maybe you should change your sheets. And I was like, thinking like I'm in my winter sheets in summer. I was like, I'm reaching out because of the medication I'm on. And she's like, because it was a message, it wasn't a.
Oh,
She's like, I'm so sorry. Like, are you taking it at night? Take it in the morning. And ever since then, I've been fine. Really? But I will say, I don't remember if I said this in the episode, but it's like, I remember being in college, wanting to get on something, but like not really knowing how. Like insurance is weird. I wasn't on my insurance because I wasn't working yet. Just like not really the top of your mind because you're not whatever in life. But I wish I did start a long time ago because like you said, like once it does like get into your system, that takes a while. Please do not stop taking it after a few days or a week or two. Like it's not in there yet. But it's weird for me because it's not like one day I just like woke up and I was like, I'm cured.
Right.
It was just like I was noticing I was handling specific situations differently. So like I'm very anxious and like to do things like that's just part of my personality, but it is like anxiety deep down. But like I was noticing I was reacting and handling situations way, way differently. And I was like, oh, I bet that's what this is. And then the depression side of it, it's just like, why didn't I do this sooner? Like you don't think that like something like that could really be that helpful, but those chemical imbalances, man, once they get right, it's like people feel like this naturally.
Right. Like, wow, I want to be that person. That's how I'm like, Evan, can I be like, he's like that. I'm like, what? He like won't even, well, you don't drink coffee, like nothing. He's like, I have the will to live. Like he is like I'm like, how? And I'm like, it just, we've had so many conversations where I'm just like, it's like he understand, like he appreciates it, like, but he's like, I just don't understand how people I'm like, I'm telling, like, it's, I can't control it. I wish I was just naturally just freaking loving like not feeling, I don't know. But
something I wanted to add real fast is, I won't name drop the person, but you know them as well. That someone I went to college with went on a medication to help. I think it was, I can't remember if it was an antidepressant, but I remember like kind of reacting like, why would you be on that? Like you have no reason like to be on that. And I didn't say this, and I'm sorry if you're watching, I don't mean this offensively at all, but it was just so confusing for me, like, but nothing's wrong, like, with your life. It seems pretty good. And right. And then after, like, I sat with it, I was like, that is probably way worse to feel that way when you don't, like, have a reason to feel that way. Like, because at least I could pinpoint it down to like what would set me off, or like, oh, it's this time of the year or something, whereas someone else is just like feeling like this and they don't know why.
Right.
So I feel like that would be horrible, and I felt like I felt for them at that point, because I was like, oh my God, like how do you even, like, what do you do? So I'm very glad that they got help, and I hope that they're still continuing. They seem to be doing great. So
that's good. Yeah, and we hope any of you viewers that even if you've tried it and then given up, just you need to do it for at least a month and to really see like it. Yeah. How many times, like, it just doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't work like that. But yeah, so many things. Like I'm telling you, like there's probably like 100 like an unreasonable amount of things that can set me off in a day if I'm like if someone would set their, like, setting a knife down like right next to this, like,
meltdown.
You better not freaking talk to me the rest of the day. Like like I'm like, all right,
I need to sit myself in time.
Like I'm like, how did you deal with me for like the past how long?
Yeah. I mean, and it is like eye-opening in that way too, because I will notice, like, even if I take it, like, I won't say a few hours late, like if it is a day and I didn't take it yet, but say I took it like it's beyond an hour from the 24-hour period, I'll be like getting like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Not just like, I don't know, like in multiple ways, like physically and mentally.
I
And
know
I'm
exactly
like, what is going on? And then I'm like, oh, it's time to take this. And like, even if like placing it is a placebo effect instantly, I don't care because it works. So it's like, I understand what's going on now.
Right.
So yeah. I also, one last thing, I didn't talk about, and I guess we're kind of talking about it now, like you can get, when you're grieving or in any stage of like any type of loss or something, like you can be angry a lot and frequently. And I feel like at that point you don't really even notice it because like you're so consumed in your thoughts. And like, I don't know if you don't have, if something like would throw me off today, like I scream at Dan for something stupid. And I'm like, why did I do that? But like when you're in the process of grieving, it's like you don't even recognize, like after that, like why did I do that? Like that's not even a thought. You're just like miserable and like nothing matters or feels the same. So if you're feeling that way, completely normal. But if you would benefit from talking to someone, a professional, if like you feel comfortable, because I definitely am behind therapy and medication together. They say that that's like the perfect combination, because you don't want to just be on one thing and like not really address problems. Because for me, like, I went to therapy for a, at the time, very recent event, and then to talk about things that were like over a decade with my mom, and like just growing up and all of that. So guys, do not be ashamed or afraid, because it's worth it to, and it's, you deserve it to be happy and like enjoy yourself, because I feel like you see, time is limited, and it's not worth it to be miserable during it. So do it.
One other thing really quick, on that same topic is, I know like the last thing I kind of like glazed over. Well, like I went into the detail about my PAP and everything, but I will mention, which Amanda knows, because that's like whenever we were emailing, I think, it's like I already like could tell, because like after like my grandma, like I even told you guys like whenever this film aired 2 weeks ago, like had huge problem with like drinking and like not in a good place. And then like right after that like my PAP, that's like was like starting back up again, and I'm like, this can't, like, no.
Yeah.
And then so then I decided like not gonna drink like the whole year, and then we had a whole legal snag, like 2 glasses of wine, just like can't even anymore. But it's like, honestly, it's like keep it away from me, like just like, especially like going through, like, you just need time to like
process.
Don't try and like sugarcoat it with anything to like make you not be thinking about it or anything. Like, you need, and you owe it to yourself, like, be the person. This is what I keep trying to tell myself, like, Aubrey, don't be an idiot. Like, you went down this road once before, like, it's not worth it. Like, you like ruined like just not good. And it's like, be the person that like that person would want you to be. Like, do it for them. Like, if there's like nothing else like stopping you from like wanting to do something, like, that's not like, just, and like just having a support system like helps. Like, talking to you every day, like talking about it. Really.
Talking or writing is huge.
Yeah, journal.
You can have it here, but like if
you have to get it out. And then, so just was like mentioning that, like, yeah, I could see that happening. And we have the Helloha Show now, like everything is just like, so now I'm trying to be like the best version of like that I can possibly be, especially like with taking, like, I'm like, I feel like
you can do it. You're capable, and they would want you to be this way too.
And then so from that, we are going to have a future episode, hopefully in like the near, like next, we have so many freaking episodes lined up, but we will have one on like different like signs and presences. So we did want to just mention that, because I think you said you didn't have like that many recently, but like we have whole episode of stuff to talk about.
That's a whole other episode.
Series basically. So just wanted to tie up some loose ends there.
And I think that'll be a good point for a lot of other people. Like, even if, I know we joke a lot, but we know we have some lurkers, very frequent flyers that will watch everything, not say anything to us, which is fine. But I would hope that if you're actually watching, what are we, an hour and 17 minutes in, that you're just kind of understanding our point of view more, and hopefully you can apply that to other people in your lives, because I would imagine, looking at either of us, you obviously don't know anyone's story just by looking at them, or like, why would you behave the way you behave, or like, why is your personality this way? Like, us just explaining how we're brought up, I hope is not like, oh, I'm so intrigued, I'm watching the Kardashians. Like, we know we're not like that. I think the point is to like understand normal people, and everyone's human and makes mistakes and can also make positive changes.
Love it.
So should we get to the uplifting funny part?
Yeah. I think we're ready.
I don't really remember how this got brought up.
That's what I was just trying to think. Like,
but we both were talking about parents misusing social media, and I know it's not just ours, which makes it even better. I'm gonna start because mine is much shorter. A terrific example. So my dad, he's 65. He only has an iPhone because I bought him one when his sister was battling cancer, and I wanted him to have a good phone instead of like a smart or a track phone, because like he didn't need anything crazy, but I was like, I need you to have this so I know what's going on. So still somewhat new, a couple years, maybe like 5 years with the smartphone. He just recently learned about Facebook Messenger. And let me tell you, Dad, if you're watching this, it's a
which doozy. You better be.
Yeah, it's a doozy keeping up with all of these notifications. Like anything that's cute, it's like bing, 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 and they are cute, and I do watch them all, but it's also like, okay, yeah, I get it. This gopher eating a carrot is adorable. I saw it last year. Thank you. But my funny story is, this actually happened. Another family member, not immediate, sent a group message after like getting hacked or something. And like, it was just a funny, like, another example of a parent like not understanding social media. So this group was just like left open, like, you know, it's in your archive or whatever. And like, so this is like over a year ago, and Dad sends a message he meant to send to me, like an animal or a dog. I think it was a dog has zoomies, like one of those, and he sent that to the group that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other family members, and my brother and sister-in-law were in it as well. And he just sends this dog video, and I immediately text him. I'm like, why did you send that to the X group? And he's like, I didn't. What are you talking about? And I'm like, we've been over this. So then he does it again the next day. He's like, I didn't do it. I sent it to you. It says your name. I was like, it probably says Amanda ... And it's just like, I had to leave the group, like where it says like Amanda left the chat, because I'm like, I can't watch this happen. I tried to control the situation and I can't, so I am out.
Did anyone like ever? No one responded. Well, everyone's just like, what is going on?
One family member was like, "Aw, cute," because they're probably like,
like, what? Bill, are you okay? Tala, what is going on?
And then he sent something to you, right? That it was like the Bushy Run, which is like a historical.
Yeah, like, what?
It was
something.
So Dad's obsessed with like Native American history, and there's a place called Bushy Run that he would actually give walking tours for a couple years ago, as a volunteer. And I guess like since COVID numbers are and the vaccines are out, like he sent something about something coming up, and he sent it to Aubrey as well. And I was like, did you mean to do that? He's like, I sent that to you. I'm like, no, he didn't.
No, you sent that to Aubrey. Yeah. Our chats go back to like 2012. And he's like 1-word answers on the chat.
As expected.
Hey, Papa. Hi. What's up? Just watchy some vids and posted a couple. And then June 9th, 2015, got to go. Good night. And I didn't even say, unless we were like talking, I'm like, okay. So then this is the first message since February 21st, 2021. He sends me how the Avengers should really look.
He sent that to Dan, of course. So I guess he just went down the line.
I think I screenshotted that and sent that to you, and I'm like, huh? And then, but I responded still. Helloha, Dad. Can't wait to have you on an episode. No, nothing. No response. And then March 5th, I get Mary Lynn something shared a post, which I can't even click on the post anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I responded, Helloha, thanks for sharing. No response. And then he had, remember whenever he posted a story and he was like recognized for some award?
Oh, yeah.
I messaged him and said, congrats, Dad, because like it's just an ongoing joke. I call her Dad, and then you're on the phone with him that night, right? And
yeah.
He's like, he was talking about it to you, right? And then you're like, he's like, you liked it. You told me congrats, Dad, today. Like I posted it.
That wasn't me. That was Aubrey, because you sent it to Aubrey.
And no, that was you. You saw that.
Yeah, the A Varner doesn't get past
take
anyone.
Home tea. But he never replied.
Misuse left and right. This is exactly what we're talking about.
Filming. Helloha. As we speak. As I type. Can't wait to hear if
he'll probably be like
on the phone call like tomorrow. He'll be like, yeah, why'd you message me whenever you were filming Helloha?
You're like, that was Aubrey. No, it was you.
No, it was you. It was a Varner.
It was.
It was a Varner. It was a Varner girl.
It was one of you. But I need you to tell the stories because I was cracking up.
Okay. So, and I wish you were there like whenever I was in person with the fam. So then I do the first one first. So Thanksgiving break, home, just chilling, and it was like a very tame.
Is this 2020?
Yeah. So it was literally just my parents, Evan and me. Mm-hmm. Like Haley and Bobby didn't come home. So we are sitting in the living room, and then I'm like, so the event happened whenever we're sitting in the living room, and I hear some like posting noise, or there was some like noise. Like, yeah. I'm like, okay, didn't think anything of it. Like next day, I'm sitting like in the living room, like scrolling through Facebook, and I'm like, what the heck? Because my dad like doesn't really post anything ever, and if it is, it's like a picture of mom and the dog, which we'll get into next. Mm-hmm. So I like hear him. I'm just like sitting in the living room in the sunroom. Not that that matters at all, but it's in the details. So I'm sitting in this like really nice chair, which also I want to get one like that. More to come in another episode.
That's a whole.
So sitting in this, and then I hear him. I'm like, Dad. I was like, hey, who is this? And it's like some random post that he like reshared someone's like their status post, and it said, I thought it was like his priest or something. It was a picture of like a couple. And they looked like younger, probably like late 30s, early 40s, maybe. It doesn't matter. And their dog. And it said, here it is. Yesterday at 9:03 p.m. Stephanie, bleep out her last name. So it's this woman. I thought it was like the guy's. Happy Thanksgiving from our little family to yours. I'm so thankful for these two and love them so much. And then it's like a rejoice always, pray without ceasing. And then you have to hit see more to see what else they said. So here's a picture, and we'll like bleep this out. So can you see that? Kind of? Okay. Yep. So I'm like sitting, and I'm like, oh, that must be like his pastor or something, because it like had like a Bible verse. I'm like, Dad, who's this?
That's
And like,
insane.
why did you reshare it? I was like, is that your priest? Like, what is going on? And then he's like, oh, yeah. So whenever I'm sitting and like on Facebook, and this has happened to me a couple times before, like it just like reshares, like I hit a button and then it just like, and I know whenever it's happening because I'm like, ugh, not again, but there's no way to do anything about it. And I'm like, so like these people probably think you're like insane. Like, why are you resharing their family photo? And I was like, who are these people? He's like, oh, it's like some guy that I like knew from college. Like, don't really even talk to him anymore. Like, not even friends. And like he didn't even like read like what like, and it's the wife's page. So it's like, do they like? I'm like, what are these people thinking? You know, like literally need to know what they're thinking.
They're
So
probably
Stephanie,
oh,
I may be
Dad.
reaching out to you. But yeah, he's like, oh, and I'm like, no, you know you can delete that. He's like, oh, I didn't think I could. So then I'm like, okay. So then later in the trip, after this, okay, so the sharing, like, yes, you can delete. Just don't share other people's posts if it's
Don't
not
do it.
worth sharing to everyone.
Like it, don't share.
So this was, I knew about this before I came home from Thanksgiving. This is what I'm about to tell you, which is so fun. Like tears, like multiple tears have shed from my face for this one. Like literally like crying on the floor where they're like, Aubrey, get up. It's not that funny.
That's enough.
But it is. So I'm talking to my mom on the phone on our daily call. It was like the week before Thanksgiving break, and she's like, yeah, blah 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 blah. So how did it start? She said something like, yeah, so something funny, like something bizarre happened. I was on the phone with Lindsay, our cousin. Shout out Lindsay. Hey Aunt Shar, Chad, we know that you follow. Why don't you ever vote on anything?
Yeah, vote.
Aloha, what is going
watching.
on? That's a +3 fans right there. 1, 2, 3 views. Okay, so I was like, yeah. So I was on the phone with Lindsay the other day, and she said, I saw that okay, so she's like, was talking to Lindsay. I saw that picture that Uncle Bobby posted of you on Facebook. She's like, but I gotta say, the dog is backwards, and you just looked really stressed. And that my mom, like, not knowing that my dad posted this photo is like, well, I was like kind of tired. Like we did walk pretty far, like from our house, like wherever to the incline, and like walked Layla all day, like running around. She's like, and she just doesn't look for the kid. Like she hates being photographed, the dog. Like she won't. If she sees a kid, no. So,
Ooh.
and then, so Lindsay's like, so my mom's like being all genuine. Like, she's like, well, yeah, what? Like, no, has no idea about the post. And Lindsay's like, I am only saying that because of like the post. Didn't you see like Uncle Bobby's post and that like weirdo like going off in the comments? And my mom's like, what? No. So Lindsay's like, yeah, check it out. End convo. And then Lindsay is also saying like, I was getting heated and like I wanted to start commenting on that. Like wish that would have happened because this is so funny. So then like nothing comes of that. My mom is telling me the next day or like the next hour on the phone, yeah, like Lindsay said this, and then apparently like something blew up. So I'm on the phone with her. I'm like, okay, I gotta pull this up right now.
I need it. Yeah.
So Bob Varner posts, it's actually his own post, a photo of my mom and our dog. Our dog is literally turned around.
It's funny she said backwards. I'm like, how is a dog backwards? But it's like the dog's face is not at the camera.
And it says our lovely valley in the background, parentheses, Johnstown, PA. My beautiful wife and our loyal dog. I complain about the weather here, but today was gorgeous for a November day. So, and we'll be able to pull like the actual
roll the footage.
Yeah, roll that footage. So, and then there's like some comments like Aunt Char, beautiful. Aunt Char, love that you comment on everything. Keep up that Helloha love, and can't wait to hear if you ordered some of those Buddha teas or not. Also, shout out to Allie's mom. Can't wait to hear how you like that white tea. I'm telling you, that 20% promo, amazing.
Clutch.
And then Cousin Crispy comments, very nice. And then there's this random man. I'm like, okay, so this is where, so I'm reading this to my mom on the phone. So this
person.
It doesn't seem happy. The wife looks stressed and the dog is backwards. So he comments that on the photo. So then my Uncle Buddy comments, not even back to this person's comment, like, which is just like, huh? And he goes, very nice, like with a clapping emoji, like meaning like he was just posting that like on my deck. So that's another thing, like people don't understand, like you're not necessarily
replying
unless you're commenting
to
back to so and so JD, then you're not like you're just commenting on the post, not like
on
hey, I'm talking to you. So Uncle Buddy says very nice, and then and Uncle Buddy commented the right way. That wasn't back to JD.
Correct. The correct way.
JD comments to Uncle Buddy on Uncle Buddy's post and said, John Edge, which I probably should delete out his actual name. I don't need your 2 cents. Like, because he said very nice, I think he was like thinking that like
it was to him.
That like okay.
Which of course that person gets aggressive and they don't even know what's going on.
So then Uncle Buddy comments back, which so funny. Do the letters F-O mean anything to you? And then he goes, F-O, like out. And then I'm like, so I'm reading this to Mom on the phone. I'm like, Mom! I'm like, Uncle Buddy swears? Like, what is going on? She starts cracking up. And I'm just like, no, like, literally, like, what is going on? And then, someone liked this, which I wonder who liked Uncle Buddy's, maybe like Lindsay or something.
Yeah.
And then this person comments back to Uncle Buddy, if you think for 1 second, and that was it. And then another post that isn't even replying to Uncle Buddy anymore. It's just a comment on the photo now. Eat S word at Uncle Buddy.
If you think for
no response. And then he comments again, JD, in another comment on the photo. Remind me, who are you at Uncle Buddy? And then I can't see. It said there was one previous reply. I can't see what Uncle Buddy post said there.
Uh-huh.
But my dad gets involved. He comments and goes at this man. Dude, what are you on? You need professional help.
Mm-hmm.
So JD comments, that word, question mark, you're calling me a head, question mark. And then I think he's replying to dad because then this goes on again and he goes, he called me, exclamation point, this JD guy. And then someone comments, like an actual comment on the photo then, beautiful picture, thanks for sharing. Amidst all of this. And then after this, JD comments, if you think for 1 second that you can intimidate me.
Mother.
And then another comment, I'll see you tomorrow. Which, okay, if you think for 1 second and I'll see you tomorrow, you should have seen me. Like, that is all I said the entire time that I was over Thanksgiving. I was like, I'll see you tomorrow. Also, I sent and then he also comments smart ASS. So, like, way too many comments here. I'm like, Dad,
what's going on?
That you can delete friends and you can delete comments.
And post.
You know that? No. Oh, my gosh. He's like, get on my feed right now and delete everything. Like, I think so. I'm pretty sure I deleted that whole message. Deleted the random posts because he's posted random other times of, like, these other people that don't know. And I'm like, and delete this man as your friend. How do you even know him? He's like, oh, I think I like sold. He bought our old TVs for scrap one time, like back in the day. He's like, I think he's like he got problems. He's like a drug addict. Like I'm like, and we're friends with him on Facebook. Why?
Accepted the request. Why?
Like, be done with it. Like, get him out. Get him back to the scrap yard where he belongs.
Fat lard. Mm-hmm.
And then there's a bunch of other comments on here, beautiful insight, like, and then it just like gets lighthearted. I'm like, what are these people saying? And then, so Thanksgiving, like after this is all like, Haley and I were cracking up about it over text, like everyone thought it was like the funniest thing. So yeah. I'm like, just like laughing it up on the couch, like cracking up. Evan's like, all right, yeah,
that's enough.
I deal with this. Yeah. And Dad and Evan are like, oh my God, like, it's not that funny. Like, it was funny the first 20 times, not now. We're on to like 45. And then, so I send all the screenshots to Bobby, who, like, he's not a big texter. Like, we don't talk as much as we nearly should, because he doesn't watch the Helloha Show. I mean, just, but, and then he, like, never calls, like, hardly ever. He, like, within 2 minutes of me sending those images, he calls. He's like, should I be concerned? What is going on? Like, we're watching a movie. And then Dad's like, oh, I'm like, Bobby's calling. He's like, and I was like, yeah, I sent him the screenshots. And he's like, are you kidding me? Can't we be done with? And then he's like, put him on the phone. And then Dad's like explaining this to Bobby, like, no, Aubrey didn't need to send you that. I was like, yeah, but it was
needed done.
Yeah, he's like, done. But no, seriously, what the heck is going on here? Like, what? So just
I love it.
Yeah, we'll have they need it, which I'm sure they do somewhere, like teach an adult like how to use social media class.
Did you ever see the commercials where it's like if you had to use MapQuest to get here, you're at the right place, and it's like teaching parents and older people, like, you don't need a live, laugh, love sign. They're like, all right, who wants to open a PDF? And they're like, nope, not me. And then Dad's favorite, they don't know how to say the word quinoa, so they have it written on a dry erase board, and they're like, how do you say it? And they're like, Joaquin, quinono, and like all these failed things. And I'll ask my dad, I'm like, well, you know what the word is, right? And he's like, and I don't know it. So I always test him. I'm like, you know what it starts with, like Keenan, like
right.
Keen, and he's like, a noun. I'm like, no, wah. It's the
Keen, wah.
Keen,
Keen, and I would say probably like, I would spell it Keen, like I'm keen on this. Wah.
W-A-H. Let's get that up on the screen.
Yeah.
So quinoa spelled, and then the phonetic pronunciation. Mm-hmm. It will not stick with him. I ask him literally once a week, like, and at this point, I feel like the dogs are like, just say quinoa. We know how to say it.
Right. We even know how to say it, and we don't speak English.
No comprende. So please, I feel like we could do like a series like of stories on our Instagram.
Stories about.
Yeah, we can share.
Like, we even touch on, like, this was just like a brief on Facebook. Like, oh my gosh, like Instagram, you do not need to post 20 pictures in one day. Mm-hmm. Like, actually posting them, like, make that a story if you need to. So, we hope you guys enjoyed this. We covered a lot.
A lot.
I know. So feel free to reach out if you have any.
Also, if you liked this style of the episode more so, since we had different topics versus one topic,
let us know.
Or if you're like, you bowed out at minute 12, let us know as well. We won't change anything, but it will be good to know when our viewers drop off.
We're up. Yes. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did, and can't wait to see you for our next episode, and who knows what we'll be wearing next. next time.
Or if we'll
we
have
gotta
a
go
guest.
Huh?
Maybe we'll even have a guest next
Who
episode.
knows? Right.
Maybe. Could be in the works.
Yeah, it's hard to say. We don't want to give too much away, so until next time. Hello.